Hey guys, I'm back with a new video today, more Warhammer Odyssey. If you guys know, Warhammer Odyssey had this global launch today, so if you want to check it out, you can go download it right now. And I'm a little late with this video. I was supposed to make this video yesterday, but never, better late than never, right? So I apologize for that, but let's get right into it. This is going to be a class guide for those of you that are still wondering what class to choose and needing help with deciding. So hopefully I can help you guys out with that. So make sure you guys give me that thumbs up and sub if you guys enjoy a mobile MMORPG content. Let's jump right into the video. Now, I've talked to some players that have been playing this a lot on the soft launch and have been leveling. Now, remember, this is just my opinion, and it's not really it doesn't paint the bigger picture because most of the skills were still unlocked and we got to only play to level 30 with a few skills. So this will just be like an overview type of video instead of going really in depth, since I don't have more information about that. But maybe later on when I get more into the game, I can make a more better detailed guide on what class to choose. So let's jump right into it and start off with the Archmage. Now, Archmage was a super strong class start of the soft launch. However, they did give it a nerf because it was just too overpowered. But right now, if you guys are used to playing a mage class in most MMOs, magical damage with range, Archmage is the way to go for you. It does a good damage, good DPS in its DPS tree. It has a DPS tree and a heal tree. And its DPS tree, good damage. I don't see it I see it being a top tier class even at the end game, because doing magical damage and having that range is always useful, especially when there's so many melee classes. So it's not a bad choice if you're going for the DPS Archmage. And then you have the Master of Life, the heal side of the class. If you're used to playing the traditional healer, where you're healing the party, healing yourself, and applying a little bit of DPS, this is definitely the class for you to go. If you're going for the full-fledged healer, go for the Archmage. You can still do some decent DPS, so you can go through and clear mobs and quest your way through it while being able to heal yourself. So Archmage, both good for DPS and heal. I would say it's a top tier class. Moving on to the Engineer. Now, the Engineer, most of the players haven't been recommended the Engineer because after the first nerf, the turrets became really weak and really bad overall. But I think they're gonna fix it most likely. And I see especially, maybe not the Powder Smith, but I see the Machine Smith being very useful later on in the game. Now you can go for this, but again, it's not really recommended. But it's your choice. But basically, you can, as a Powder Smith, you'll be able to do some decent DPS, both solo, single target, and multi-target. You'll be using the rifle, and then the Machine Smith is more support type, where you use a lot of turrets to both taunt, debuff, slow enemies, and more of a support class. Maybe help out the tank later on in harder dungeons. So again, if you want to go for the support type, I will highly suggest go for the Engineer class and the Machine Smith. But not too much I can say about it currently. It's just not highly recommended by most players playing the game right now. But I'm pretty sure it will be viable later on. ShadowWarrior. Now, the ShadowWarrior is actually the Ranger type class that, if you guys have played most of them, you have the range using the long range bow. It does really good DPS, good for farming, good for leveling overall. If you're used to playing the usual Archer Ranger in most MMOs, definitely go for it. Now, its other path, it's a more dual sword assassin type, and it uses stealth. So this is very useful because if you guys know about the game, you know there's a lot of mobs, and sometimes stealth is going to be super useful for you to go around and be able to quest faster and level faster. So it both has the the dual sword assassin type talent tree, and then you have the long range bow talent tree if you want to use that. So it's two completely different honestly subclasses, so you can always reset your trees later on. So if you want to play at the assassin, you can do that. If you want to play long range bow, you can do that. But the DPS is really good on it, and it's going to be probably one of the top classes later on, who has the range basically. That is the ShadowWarrior. And then let's move on to the Slayer. Now, the Slayer is a melee type berserker class, especially the Dragon Slayer. Use the dual wheel axis, doing some really high DPS overall. If you're used to playing like berserker type class, melee class, definitely go for the Slayer. You know, you have the dwarf, and you just do some amazing DPS as in the Dragon Slayer tree. And then even the Troll Slayer tree is pretty useful, especially for leveling. They have really good DPS, and they're more of a tank class. They have a taunt, damage resist abilities, use the two-handed axe, so they were able to sustain some damage and unleash some more damage. Now, you can use it as a tank. It's not the recommended tank to use, but it's super useful, and I can see it being like a secondary tank while I'll be able to unleash some good DPS later on. So the Troll Slayer is a really good class, honestly. If you want to play a tank with high damage, try to go for the Troll Slayer. And if we can always switch to Dragon Slayer later if you want to go for a full DPS melee class. So that is the Slayer class. Now go to Warrior Priest. You guys know I've been playing the Warrior Priest a bunch. The Warrior Priest is very good. Now it is going to most likely going to be the main tank if you're using the small hammer and the shield. It has taunts, crowd control, defensive buffs. Overall, it's probably going to be the main tank later on in the dungeons. However, its damage isn't that great compared to the other classes. You might struggle leveling up. I've been struggling. I've been playing the Warrior Priest, the tank class, Order of the Silver Hammer, and I do struggle sometimes, and I lose mobs to a lot of higher DPS enemies, unfortunately. But if you're used to being a full tank class, it gives me a vibe of a little paladin vibe too. The Warrior Priest is definitely the way to go. Now, the Warrior Priest also has a secondary tree. Now, the secondary tree is actually not a full DPS class. It's actually a heal class. You'll use a big hammer, and you can heal enemies. Not enemies, sorry. You can heal yourself. You can heal allies while being able to unleash a little bit of DPS. So, if you don't want the Archmage healer, yeah, you can go for the Warrior Priest healer. I'm probably gonna be like you. I feel like if they're gonna have like big raids and stuff, you want to have like an Archmage and a Warrior Priest healer, since they can do different things. But Archmage, it's more of a range healer, and then Warrior Priest will be more of a melee healer type class. So that is the Warrior Priest, both the tank tree and the heal tree. So whatever you guys decide, you can go for the Warrior Priest. I think Warrior Priest will be solid class nonetheless, no matter which of the trees you go for. Last but not least, we have the WitchHunter. Now, the WitchHunter is actually pretty strong later on. A lot of players have been talking about the WitchHunter, and they see it being super viable later during the end game. It can add like, I think, damage over time effects, and both the different trees uses is both DPS focused. I think the Templar, if I'm not wrong, is still more of a dot class, while the Sanctioned Hunter uses the pistol. But yeah, see, it adds bleeds. So I'm guessing the Hunter also adds bleeds, if I'm not completely wrong here. But the Witch Hunter, they seems to be aiming for more of the end game, being able to add damage over time, bleed effects, and do DPS, long range again. And so these are the classes. Myself, if I had to make like a kind of a tier list, I would put most of the classes are strong overall. I think Engineer is the one struggling the most right now, and the Witch Hunter is on the come up. But all of them are solid. I hope this video helped you guys out, and I wish you guys a good luck on your adventure. I don't know what class I'm gonna play. I'm most likely go with the Warrior Priest still. I just don't like that it takes super long to level up and kill enemies, so that's the only reason that I am deciding not to go for it. I might change to Slayer. You guys know I love the Berserker type class, but I want to be like a full tank at the end of the game, or in the end game basically. So hopefully this video made it easy for you guys to choose. If you have any questions about the classes, ask me in the comments below. I'll try my best to answer you guys' questions about any of the classes. You guys can join their Discord. They have a Warhammer Odyssey Discord, and they're super helpful there. Thank you to everybody that helped me out with this video. You know, the people are great people, you know, they help me out learn about these classes. I can make this video for you guys, so I really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for watching. If this was helpful at all, make sure you guys give me that thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Thank you, and good luck on your adventure, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye bye.